Okay, so this is going to be the third part of the VEX introduction, and now we're going to go into some more interesting things. In this example, I'm going to show you how we can use, for example, an image, something that we load from outside, and now we can use this image, for example, to displace the shape that we have over here. So let me just delete all of this because we don't need that anymore. Let's go to the grid, and I'm going to increase a little bit the grid resolution. Let's say that we set it to 100, something like this, because I want to have enough detail for showing the image. Now, the thing that I've created was a displacement of a landscape, something which I used World Machine for. Which is this program. It's also a node-based program, as you can see over here, and what it can do for you, it can generate fractal kinds of landscapes using erosion filters and all these kind of things, and then it can generate or render out like one image, as you can see over here, for displacement texture. Okay, so if you go over here and we want to use that in Houdini, for example, to work on it and to do all kinds of things with it, we can use VapSop for that. So if we create again a new VapSop, we can do something like this. And the thing that we're going to do first is we're going to create an image, because we're going to import an image that we can use to deform the landscape over here. So for that we can find some things underneath utilities over here. So as we can see, we have like lots of elements that we can use, but right here we find a color map. And in a color map we have like the following things. We have like the map itself, which is the mandrill pic by default. It's an image of a monkey, and then with the U and the V values, and that's something we need to map properly over here. Now the U and the V values is something that we could do manually by taking the minimum and the maximum distance of all the surface, but let's make it a little bit easier for us, and let's just add over here a where is it, material, a UV project. So I'm gonna add it right over here, and I'm just going to initialize it so that it fits the whole shape. And I'm just gonna make it a very tiny bit bigger, because if I don't do that, you're gonna see that there are going to be some overlappings from the texture from this side to the other side, and that's not what we want. Okay, so this is the first step. If we go in and we have this color map, the thing that we can do right now is we can use this UV that we've created, and again we're going to do it the same way as I showed you before. Something we don't find over here are the UVs. We don't see any UVs being available over here, so we're going to create over here a parameter, and in this parameter we're going to set it into a tree float vector, and the name of it is going to be UV. So we need to have like the first two of that, and for that I'm going to use a vector to float, so that I can take the first two ones, the U and the V, as we can see over here. So the thing that we need to have right now, it doesn't matter really which one, because it's just a grayscale image, so in all the cases it's going to give us exactly the same value. But what we want to do is we want to have it over here. So I'm going to use right now a let's say not a parameter, a vector set vector component. That's what I want to have. And the other thing that I want to have is just one value out of this, It doesn't matter really right over here because I can just connect it as it is up, not with all of them. I just can connect it right over here. Since all three of them are exactly the same, it's just going to take one float value, and it doesn't matter really, or it's going to average it out. I don't know really, but anyways, these are going to give us exactly the same value as if I was going to take just one value. So now we have this dotted line, and we're going to set it over here onto the second component, which is the y value. And so if we add it over here, we see right now already displacement of the mandrill. That's the image of the monkey that you have by default in Houdini. The other thing that I want to have is I want to have access to adding a color map, and as you can see right over here, this is a different kind of color, and this color means that you're dealing with a string value, and a string is a piece of text, of course, and it is the path for our image that we're going to load. So I'm going to promote this parameter over here, and as you can see it's hidden by default, and if I go up we see right here that we have right here the color map of the mandrill. So I'm gonna change this one, and for that I'm gonna go to my directory, which is courses lecture 4, and we have over here a landscape displacement. So if we see right over here, we see already a little bit of displacement. Now this is just not enough, I want to have a little bit more, so I'm going to multiply it and multiply at constant like this, and I'm going to multiply it by 5 for example, so that we have like this displacement. And as you can see, we see the landscape just appearing right over here. So a few things that we can do, of course, is we can increase this to, let's say, 200 or even 500. Oops, that's a little bit too much. And then we have like this very high detailed shape, and we have our landscape, a landscape that we can use with other things. Of course, as you've seen before, you can always use a poly reduction tool for example, to change it and see that we can get a very good result out of that. So this basically is going to conclude for now the introduction of using Vex within the SOP context, and there's going to be a new exercise which I'm going to add right after this one.